What's up, party people? This is your uncle, and I'm going to be doing my weekly weekend review, but I got something important to show you guys so that you guys can keep up with what's really going on. And if you want a part of this blessing and join our journey, I'm more than happy to welcome you aboard. All right, so let me get into this so I can show you guys this. Let me pull this slide on screen right here. All right, so this slide right here, let me kind of bring it up so you guys can see it a bit better. Okay. All right. So this slide right here, as you can see, what it's basically showing you guys is that on this week alone, we took, 23? Let me show you guys. So if I drag this down here, then it shows we took 23 trades this week as a team. Me, Dr. Paisley, and Miss Jenny, six-figure coach. We took 23 trades as a team, and we won 15 of the 18 that are closed, and the yellow represents the ones that are still open. So I think, there's this one is closed. Let me see. So that was one that she counted. Okay, hold on one second, and I'll close this, show you guys this. Okay, and I try to show you guys this stuff, and let me go ahead and put this one as blue because it is closed. All right, so that's that. So we have 15 wins, 3 losses, and actually this one loss was it's really technically a break even, but you know the broker charges a spread, so I just considered a loss. So realistically, it was really supposed to be 15-2, but we'll count this one. So basically, we have 15-3, but we also still have 1, 2, 3, and this one already had profit locked in. They just let them run 4 and 5. So that basically we still have 5 trades running, and so you know we're doing very well. So what have we done for the year? I will tell you on Sunday's video. Okay, on Sunday's video, I will tell you. Okay, so that's that. Alrighty. So now I'm going to get into actually going over the charts so you guys can kind of see the charts for yourselves, what we should be looking at, and the trades that worked out, the ones that didn't, what news happened that could have impacted the trades, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so we're going to do the weekly review like I always do to help you guys out. And leave a comment below if this is helpful, because again, if this does take a little bit of time away from the family. So if this is not something that's important to you, I won't continue to do it. I'll continue to do the Sunday video. But if this weekly review is helping you, then leave a comment below and just say, yes, it helps, or just leave the word help so I can know whether to continue this or not. Okay. Alrighty then. Now, let's get into some good stuff. So in the beginning of the week, and by the way, I want to extend a shout out to Mr. Calvin. We did an interview on Thursday, and we actually, at the time when you're going to watch the interview, for those who's going to watch the interview, we went over some charts, and I want you to actually go back to the date that I'm talking about, which is we recorded it on yesterday, which was Thursday. I called out 2 trades. When you're going to see this live interview, I called out 2 hot trades right during the interview, and then I texted them this morning. I said, hey man, check the charts, and you'll see they played out exactly the way I told him they were going to play out, and you're going to see it live on that interview, okay? And I'm going to go over them now with you so you can see it, what I saw, and then when you see the interview, you'll be like, dang, that brother knows what he's talking about. Yeah, it was hot stuff. All right. Here's the thing that you need to know. In the beginning of the week, you really want to stick to a trend trading strategy, because at the beginning of the week, for the first couple of days, Sunday, Monday, going into Tuesday, and I've been teaching you guys this, I consider you Team A. Team A, or Team number 1, are the first ones who should be looking at the charts, okay? And that means at the beginning of the week, the market tends to want to go in the trend. Now, there are some exceptional days when the market got out of balance from last week, and now it's just trying to recalibrate itself, and that's exceptional. But normally, it's going to want to go in the trend. And I found my favorite trending pair for trend trading. You heard that right. I found my favorite pair. Okay, and I'm going to share that with you. Okay. All right. So first of all, AUD Swiss. I always like using the ocean wave on the 30-minute time frame because it's smoother. So you can see the ocean wave called AUD Swiss to the upside, and it continued to make profit. Okay, so that was a good one. This is AUD NZD. I'm sorry, AUD CAD. AUD CAD. And you see how at the beginning of the week it drifted, went down. Midweek, what happened? Team 2 kicked in. Who is Team 2? That's the traders who trade reversals. Supply and demand zone, support and resistance levels, trend line bounces, so forth and so forth. You're Team 2. And if I go down to the 15-minute, you'll see where price action began to cross over the 15-minute. If I go to the 5-minute, you clearly see it. There it was. See? The reversal. Midweek reversal. Okay? What's midweek? It can start as early as late Tuesday, but typically you'll find it on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, such as you found on this one. So midweek reversal, you can see even from the 5-minute time frame, it was rolling. Very smooth midweek reversal. It bounced and comes up. This is why I keep trying to tell you guys, you either are going to be on Team A or Team B, or Team 1 or Team 2. Team 1 is the ones who should be trading at the beginning of the week, and you should be trading trend trades only. So if you're a person who says the trend is my friend, then you're cool with beginning of the week, okay? Trade the trend until midweek begin. You're going to hear me say it in that interview as well. Trade the trend until midweek begin. I'll say it again. Trade the trend until midweek begin. Make sure that's in your notes, okay? Trade the trend until midweek begins. And you can clearly see this. At the beginning of the week, guess what? There we go. It was trending. This is AUD CAD. Trending. Midweek happened. Look what happened. Reversal. Team 2 came into play, those who trade reversals. Once we get over to the other system for midweek reversals, because I do use 2 trading systems, one for trend trading and one for reversals. I don't use the same thing because it's hard to see it one versus the other. So that's why I do use 2 different types of trading systems when the market want to do 2 different types of things. Are you with me? Okay. All right. So now that's AUD CAD at the beginning of the week. Nice trend trade, and then it reversed, which we expected. Same thing with AUD USD. You can see it was drifting, went down, trend trade, and then midweek it bounced up. Okay, that's expected. Okay, now this one was different. The JPY is kind of weak. Okay, so this one stayed upwards, and you'll see that across the board with all the pairs that are attached to JPY. So this is AUD JPY because the JPY was very weak and strength. So the entire week, basically anybody who was in a trend trade on the JPY, you could have stayed in it. This is what I'm talking about exceptions, okay? AUD NZD, look at that beauty. Soft, small candles. This pair runs slow, but it's very, very, very easy to trade. It's not the favorite of the favorites, but it's next to it. Why? Because it was easy money. You could have stayed in this one all week. Because it's very slow and it doesn't break trend too often. So you could have took this one for 94 pips straight down. Okay, so if you want to trade the trend, AUD NZD is one of the good ones to do it with, but I'm going to show you something else. Okay, this is choppy and sloppy, and I told you guys when you see choppy and sloppy, go to the higher time frame, you'll see what's happening. Basically, this is nothing more than consolidation off the 4-hour time frame, so it really wasn't going anywhere. So that's the reason why you see it choppy and sloppy over here. So this is one I would not be trading. Okay, I don't care what these arrows say down here. When I see choppy and sloppy, that's indication of what? Sideways consolidation. It's not going anywhere. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. CAD Swiss. Now here's what I do like. CAD Swiss is very nice because it has the Swiss. Now, unfortunately, the Swiss JPY, I like the Swiss, and I'm telling you now, the Swiss is the favorite pair for me as far as trend trading. But if you see it being sloppy, just go to the next one that has something similar to it, which is, guess what? CAD Swiss. And you'll see this amongst the other pairs as I go along. The CAD Swiss stayed in its trend the entire week. And it was very small candles, which you know is my favorite thing because it stays in rhythm with very, 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 very little chance of it spiking down and hitting your stop. You can see it did do some small pullbacks along the way, but not once did it ever break all the way down to the point where it broke below the main wave. See? So you could have been in this trade all week long. All week. So if I was to just trend trade for the entire week, the Swiss pairs, I would find 1 or 2 of those. Okay? This one didn't have it on hit because it was choppy, but as soon as you go to the next one, look what happened. Butter smooth. Okay, let's keep going. All right, we had the CAD Swiss, and again, see, CAD, what was the important ingredient? JPY. Because the JPY has been weak all week. That's right. Weak all week. Man, you weak all week. Okay, because it was weak all week, therefore, yes, you could have stayed in the trend on this one for the entire week because of the weakness of the JPY. Okay, so it did not have a midweek reversal because of the weakness of the currency, not because of the pattern of the typical behaviors of the market. It was simply the currency itself is having a problem. Okay, so that's an exception. Get it? All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so this one here, and we'll see it better played out on the other system when we get to the reversal system, but nothing much here as far as trend trading. Again, you can go to a higher time frame, and you can see it's doing nothing more but consolidating off the 4-hour time frame, and therefore on the lower time frames, there really wasn't much tradable information there. EuroCAD, you can see right here, EuroCAD was in the downward trend, and it's pretty smooth, okay? Pretty rhythmic. It tried to do a midweek reversal, which we'll see on the other system, but, you know, it was still a little bit weak, but that's what's happening, okay? The Euro, okay? The Euro is sitting sideways. See how it's just flat right here? See? So early in the week, it trended, and then it tried to break to a midweek reversal, which it did slightly. You can see that right here, where it's now cutting up this way a little bit. So it could jump up by next week. We'll see. Okay. But that's that. Okay. This is why you shouldn't, in my personal opinion, you know, I know people have their favorite pair. That's cool, but you should have a backup just in case your favorite pair ain't functioning this week. All right. Because I know a lot of people trade the Euro USD, but if it's something like that where it's flat and not going anywhere, then find an alternative so you can still make your bread and get fed. Okay. Now, again, the Euro JPY is the same thing. What's the key? JPY. It was weak, so you could just stay in this week all week. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go back to the 30-minute for the Euro NZD. This one trended beautifully to the downside. Beautifully to the downside. Very nice. Okay, this is why if you had to choose one or the other, which one would be the stronger of the two? Should you be a trend trader or reversal trader? Trend traders tend to win more than reversal traders. Although if you're good at reversals, just simply be team B, which means you start looking for your opportunities when midweek. Okay. When the market wants to pull back up. Okay. So anyway, let's keep going to the Euro Swiss. Look at this. Another Swissy. See what is the key? Swiss. I told you they run butter smooth. So this is one where if I had to find a pair to trade for the whole week without worrying about reversals, it would be the Swiss. Okay. Look at this one. It was on the downside. It stayed butter smooth. Then when it was ready, it broke through hard, came above and stayed above the main wave, and it stayed. So it went down for an entire week without any worries. Then it went up, and then it started going up for an entire week. Why? The Swiss. So the Euro Swiss would be a good one as well. Okay. Let's go to EG. EG, sideways, not good for trend trading. Okay. Wasn't good for trend trading, but on the 4-hour, you can see why. It's just flattening out right here on the 4-hour. Okay. Pretty nice look on the 4-hour, huh? But on the 30, see, sideways, nothing much. GA, same thing, not much there, but we'll see some little action when we get to the other system momentarily. All right, just like EN, see, EN and GN had something in common. Here's why they did not reverse, because the NZD pairs came out with some news and it caused it to actually skyrocket pretty well this week. And when you get to the NZD pairs, you'll see that. So again, this is one of those exceptions because it stayed in the downward trend. Why? Because of the news on the NZD. So it didn't even get a chance to catch its breath and do a midweek reversal. Okay. That's why that happened. Let's keep going. GCAT, same thing, flat, like some like a sexy person with no meat in the back. You know what I mean? You ain't got no meat in the back. Flat cheeks. Trying to throw it around and you ain't got nothing back there. Your pockets are touching. All right, here we go again, you guys. We'll look at what we see. What do we see? We see G Swiss again. Up to the upside, okay? G Swiss, GBP Swiss. What's the key? The Swiss. All right, That's what's happening. Let's go to GU. Same thing, just like Euro, USD, GBP, USD. See, it's sitting flat. Nothing. Wasn't tradable for trend trading, at least. It wasn't nothing there. Okay. Don't force trades if you don't see them. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here, this one, and you'll see this better because of news. It sparked up a bit, and that's what caused that to happen. Okay. But you can see because of the JPY, it was weak all week. Okay. NZD Swiss. See, y'all notice what's each pair I go to that has Swiss attached to it. Each pair that has the Swiss attached to it, each one ran smoothly. Okay. Let's look at NZD CAD, and pretty much the same thing. CAD was strong. See how it broke up because of CAD news. Okay. And then we're going to go to NZD JPY. Okay. NZD JPY again. This was all green bars. Not only was the NZD itself coming out strong for the week because of the news, but in addition to that, the JPY was weak all week. So this one had a very strong upside movement. Okay. Let's go to the NZD JPY. See, all the NZD pairs shot up because there was some news that came out that caused the NZD to spark some strength. And so therefore, that's the reason why that happened. And that will explain why this happened and never caught its breath to get a reversal. And the same thing with this one. It was because of news that pushed the NZD up. Okay, let's go to USD JPY. As you can see, this is still, look at the pair though. Look at here. What's the key? CHF. I told you that's my favorite new pair now. So anytime I start catching opportunities to the downside or to the upside, this is going to be one of my favorite pairs to trade for trend trading. If I had to take a trade, go on vacation for an entire week, this Swiss would be the one. As you can see, when it was heading on the downside, it stayed to the downside for quite some time. Problem is, you got to be patient because it doesn't move fast like the rest, but it's almost guaranteed money in the pocket. You see that? Every single one of them did the same thing. When they were going down, they went down for a long time. When they go up for a long time. So that's why I suggest if you're going to use our ocean wave trading system and you're just starting out, start looking for anyone that has the CHF attached. Okay, start with those. Okay, so you can put some easy money in your pocket. Now again, this is choppy and sloppy because it's the US dollar and it's just sitting there sideways. So it didn't have much movement this week. And the JPY, USD JPY, again, the JPY was weak all week. And so therefore, that's why you had this upward movement. And some of you guys, you say, oh, that don't look like much. Oh, my dear, hold on. That move right here is about 106 pips. And people ask me, why do you have your thing scrunched up so big? Well, wouldn't it be hard to trade if you saw something like this? You see that? That will freaking the daylights out of me. But if I pull this tight, see, now you can just see the rhythm of the market itself. See, I smooth out the noise and I can actually see where you're going. And therefore, it's easy for me to say, yeah, I would have took this trade. Watch this. I'm going to pull it open. See, if I see this, I'm going to be concerned. Why? Because look at all the... So I'll be concerned even if I saw this. I'll be like, I don't know about that. It's very choppy. But when you pull it tight, you'll be like, heck yeah, let me hop into this thing. And you would have been right. Okay. All right, let's take a look at a couple of more. Here's Apple. Apple. Ooh, Apple. By the way, check with your brokers because sometimes you trade these indices and they're not going to make you no money because you have to put so many standards on to make money. So that's the reason why I wanted to trade Apple moving forward, but I started placing trades on. I say, man, they only giving you $1 or $2. You know, you got to place, 100, 200 stacks of, pips of, lot sizes to be able to make a decent living off of that. So I said, miss me on that. Leave that one toward the stock market. All right, let's go to US 30. Different story, though. This one pays out real big and strong. And as you can see, look at that. Straight to the upside. Silent and slow, okay? Which is my favorite, the way it's moving. S&P 500 out of the indices. This is my favorite. Yeah, S&P 500. Number one, it's not expensive. So if you're starting out and wanting to trade the indices, the least expensive of the three of the US 30, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, it's going to be the S&P 500. And it's the most stable because it has the most basket of stocks involved. The US 30 holds 30 basic large companies like your Home Depots and stuff like that. There are 30 of those companies. Then the NASDAQ typically is a tech stock. So you have your Apples, your Googles, and stuff like that in there. Okay, so that's why when Google or Apple or, one of those others tech stocks, they come out with their earnings report, the NASDAQ can take a dip or it can blow to the sky. That's why. But the S&P 500 houses 500 baskets of stock. So because of the diversity and the largeness of it, it tends to be the more stable of the three indices. So and it's the least expensive to trade. So if you ever wanted to get into trading the indices, I would start with the S&P 500, and it clearly told you stay to the upside, and you would have done very, very well this week on that pair. Okay. Alrighty then, last but not least, let's go to the NAS, same thing, nasty NAS. It was doing this thing, buy all week long. You would have made a boatload of money easily. Okay, now look at gold, nothing there, at least as far as trend trading. Go to the 4 hour and you can see the thing was basically flat, not going anywhere. Okay, all right, so now we're going to switch over to the other system and start looking for Team 2. Which is who? You. Those who, let me say this. Team 2, let me be very clear with you guys. Team 2, you are the ones who spend all weekend long marking up your charts and putting your trend lines, your support and resistance levels, and this and that. There's two important things I want to tell you that I suggest you do. You do what you want to do. You're grown. But let me help you. You just seen me do number one. Number one, I built a trading system because I used to do that too, spend all weekend long going through each individual chart, marking up the weekly marks, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, then 4 hour, this and that, or however your trading style is, marking up your charts, whatever flavor you do. The point is, it takes a lot of time going through every single one of these pairs and through each one of the time frames. This is why I built the Sexy Analyst, because the Sexy Analyst will do what you're doing that's taking you hours upon hours upon hours to do. It can do it within seconds, and it will print. And here's our website about it. Loveyourcharts.com, loveyourcharts.com. Why? You can fall back in love with your charts because everything you need as far as supply and demand zones, Fibonacci levels, outer trend lines, inner trend lines, and with the inner trend lines, it'll actually tell you how many pips, how far away are the pip, it's the pip difference from the top trend line or to the bottom. So let's just say, for an example, you're waiting for a trend line bounce where you're waiting, but this thing can actually tell you how many pips it is away. So if it's 20 pips away from the top and you're waiting to sell, then you'll know, oh, I got to wait for 20 more pips. Okay. If it's at the bottom and it says, okay, you're 30 pips away from it bouncing off the bottom, it will literally tell you. That's what this little red thing is here. It's actually a picture of what it's showing you right here. It will tell you how far away in pips is it before it touches a trend line on the inner trend line. Then you have your larger outer trend lines, which you basically see me use all the time in the videos. You have your supply and demand zones. Okay. You have two scanners that come with the system. Okay, because one will do a trend line touch. So when the price action touches the trend line, it'll actually send you an alert so that you're not sitting around waiting for price action to touch trend line on the outer trend lines. It'll actually send you an alert. And then we also have our support and resistance levels, which is built into it. And so that's these levels here. So when you get a support or resistance level and it's touching the support or resistance level, see that's what this is, support and resistance levels, which is pre-built in, it'll actually send you an alert. So everything you need to avoid wasting all day long, marking up your charts and all that foolishness, it's already pre-built in. That's the reason why I watch this. I can click through these things and it automatically adjusts. See, whether I go to the weekly, see, everything is right there. See how it auto-populates for me. I don't waste my time marking up charts anymore. Number two, and this is more important than number one. Okay. Let me get my face close up so y'all can see what I'm saying. Okay, hold on. Some of y'all trying to see my sexy chest. So keep your eyes up. Stop being nasty. All right, let me say this to you guys. You're team number two. technically, I don't even waste my time marking up charts in the first place anymore because midweek reversal. So for an example, if I was looking at this trade right here, and let me just go to Sexy by itself. If I was looking at just Sexy without the simplicity system, and I wanted to take this trade right here at this resistance level, see, that was Friday when it set up here. See, it push. Then on Friday, it gave me an opportunity, right? Okay. So the point is, I don't even want to look at this system until the weekend. Now, let me show you guys. I told you, I promised you, I was going to show you a couple of trades. Here's what I showed Calvin during our meeting. Okay. So I asked him, I said, hey, taking a look at this trade here, I said, when price action was literally sitting right here, y'all, literally. It was just sitting right there. And I said, what would you do if I put a gun to your head and I told you, you better choose? What would you do? Would you buy or sell based on what you're looking? I went through 3 time frames, went to the 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. This don't even have simplicity with the arrows. This is just glancing off the Sexy Analyst. What would you have done? Would you have sold or would you have bought? And he said, well, I think I would have bought. I said, well, I think you would be right. And look what happened. Boom, went right on up. Then here, GA or GBP AUD, I said, what would you have done right here if I put a gun to your head and said, you will have to take a trade, buy or sell. This is the only thing you have, and if you don't choose one, I'm going to kill you. He said, well, I will choose a sell. And that was on Thursday when we did the interview. Look what happened. Go to a lower time frame. Look at that beauty. Why? And I kept insisting, and I'm telling you now again, that's because midweek reversal. What was happening during the early parts of the week? It was trending up. You see what I'm saying? What was it doing in the first place? Look at this. Trending upwards, trending upwards, trending upwards, trending upwards. And then when midweek happened, which like I said, it can happen as early as Tuesday, but typically start looking for these on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, and look exactly what happened. This one reversed, and this one reversed, and you'll see it in my interview. I called them on that day, which was February 8th, 2024, at the time when you watch the video, whenever he releases it. I called those trades out on February 8th, 2024, and I'm recording this video on February 9th, the next day, which is Friday, 2024. See, because I know the rhythm of the market. Your team too. So if you're the person marking up charts on the weekends, you're literally wasting your time. You're setting yourself up for failure. Why? Because I showed you Ocean Wave handles trend trading. So I used the Ocean Wave to trade at the beginning of the week. And then on the midweek, I switched to this system because it catches reversals so much better. Told you. Now, let's go through this really quick because I want to get me some sleep. I'm tired. All right. So here, now this one would be one of those days of exception because price shot up because all the CHF pairs shot up. As I showed you with the other, they shot up. So this looks like a potential reversal could take place. So if it does, it could be one of those exceptions. Why? Because it shot up so much all week long. It's a potential. I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks through, and keeps going because Sunday, Mondays are trends. So it could break through. I wouldn't take a reversal on it, me personally, but it could, if you want to go for it. All right. ACAD. See, nice little reversal. Boom. Bounce right off. See how that happened? Midweek reversal. Okay. Midweek reversal. Told you guys. That's the 30-minute. Let's go down. I'm sorry. Go to the 15-minute. Okay. See that? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I know what. I'm like, where's my arrows? I forgot I just got Sexy on here. Now, I'm going to put it back where I use Sexy with simplicity. There's my arrow. There you go. I was looking for you, baby. See how I hit down here? All the way down. Midweek reversal. Drop to the 15-minute. Wait for the arrow from simplicity. And voila to the la. And there you go for a big winner of what? 48 pips on that one. Y'all see that? You see that? Okay. See that? Okay. See, we don't have an arrow yet on that one. But midweek, yep. And always start at 4 hour. Let's go here. Okay. So this is the one I told him. What would you do? See that bottom? See? Here's a low. Here's a higher low. What would you have done? Okay. Go to the 15-minute. And there was the arrow for a buy. Midweek reversal. You see how easy that is? Midweek. Just wait. It was pushing, pushing, pushing all at the beginning of the week. Midweek reversal happens. Here's the arrow. Kicks in. And that was a nice 40 pips off of that one to the upside. See, very, very easy. Trading ain't hard when you understand what the market doing. Now, this is one, see, it pushed all the way up. So nothing there, technically, okay. AUD, NZD. Now, this is a different story. Why did this drop? Because of that NZD news. So it never got a chance to catch its breath because the NZD pairs shot through the moon because of whatever news came out on them. So that's an exception. Okay, here's that Swiss, and you can see how choppy it is. So when I showed you how choppy it was on the ocean wave system, you can see how choppy it is on the regular system as well. So there was nothing tradable in it. And a question came up in class, which, by the way, my classes are free every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you bought anything from us or not, our classes are open to the public. So please, whatever strategy you want to use, that's fine. That's cool. Still come in my class so I can talk to you, and we do question and answer. You can actually talk to me, and I try to answer your questions best as possible. Okay. You don't have to buy anything. It's free. But anyway, this is one of those where I was trying to explain to you guys, a question came up, hey, do you see anything? And it wasn't this pair, it was another pair, but do you see anything on this pair? And I was explaining to one of the people who came to class, this is times where even if it's your favorite pair, you just got to move on. Because if you don't see anything, you don't want to force trades just because it's your favorite pair. This is choppy and sloppy. It's very sloppy. Nothing tradable I see. Okay. So me personally, I wouldn't do anything without just going to the next. Okay, here's that cash Swiss, and you can see on the 4 hour where this thing shot way up, baby. Told you. Bing. Okay. CAD JPY, same thing. It shot up because of the JPY being weak. Okay, there's nothing tradable there. Nothing tradable there. Now this one bounced. Okay, came off. Let's see what happened on that 15-minute. Big wick candle. What is this about? News event. Trying to take people out. And then guess what happened? Arrow came in and you made pips. Would I have taken this trade? No, I wouldn't have. Too sloppy for me. I don't trade like that. But it still worked. All right, Euro USD. It did bounce right here and bounce right here. Go to the 15-minute. And you can see an arrow to the upside. Yes, that was a winner. But I don't like it. Leave it alone. Here's JPY. All right, as you can see how it's double topping right here? Drop that 15-minute. See how it's curving over? Would I still trade it on the Sunday or Monday? Probably not. You can, but I probably not. I don't know. Not my thing, really. Okay. Euro NZD, again, here you can see it kept on falling just like the AUD NZD. Why? Because of the NZD news, which you can clearly see it now. That's the reason why it never got a chance to do a reversal. Now, this one kept on going upwards because of the slide to the upside with the CHF. EG was kind of sideways. It did give me some pips. I did take a trade on this. When it hit here, you can clearly see why I took it. Right here, there was a bounce. Okay, so upon that bounce, okay, I'll take some pips, but see how choppy it is? It's just like an accordion. Okay, so it did make pips, but I didn't get much off of it. But any pips is welcome to me. I take all pips. I don't, pips and pimps. Okay, now let me stop saying that. Yeah. Okay, this is that GA trade. I told you about the reversal. You can clearly see it, and this is what I was showing my man, nephew Calvin on the interview you'll see coming up, where I did this before it made the move. But I showed him, I said, what would you do if you had to choose? What would you buy or sell? And I showed him, see, testing. So you can see during midweek, this was a no-brainer to go to the downside. And if you go to a lower time frame, there was the arrow, and this thing dropped from here to here, 87 pips down to the downside, midweek reversal. So team 2, if you're trading supply and demand zones, support and resistance, bouncing off of trend lines, just stay away from the charts until Wednesday. Don't worry about marking nothing up because it's not going to be accurate, because typically it's going to try to keep pushing like it did here. See? It keep pushing even further to knock everybody out, and then trade the trend until when? Midweek began. There you go. Now you understand. Okay? That was a simple call. Okay? This one here was an exception. Why? Because of the NZD news. GCAD. Okay? Nice one to the downside. This is one that I told you guys. I was in this trade, but then you can see exactly why we were in drawdown. Because look at this wick. Look at EuroCAD. Wick. You see that? When you see these big wicks, that means it was some news that came out, and that is the reason why you had that wick. Okay, so we were in drawdown on this trade, and I knew where it was going to go, so I waited for it to bounce back up, and it did bounce. I tried to get out at break even, but we was just shy of like 4 or 5 pips, which is, you know, this broker spread. But, you know, this wouldn't, me personally, I don't want to count this as a loss because we got out at break even, but I do count the broker spread, which in this situation, you can see the broker charges about 5 pips. You can see the spread right here. So I didn't want to show the report and say, okay, well, you know, and be dishonest on the reporting. But technically, if it wasn't for the 5 pips on the broker spread, we were at break even. So technically, we were 15-2, not 15-3. And you can see the broker spread right here. Okay? So for the copycat group, that's what you see. Now you see what happened while we were in drawdown. But the good news is I was smart enough not to put a stop loss real tight. I put it comfortably down here because I knew I was right. And so when it did this deep dip, I just had to wait a couple of more hours, and then it came back up and we was released out of the trade. Okay? Now you understand about that. Okay? That's why we do that. That's what makes us professional traders. Okay? G-switch, nothing there for reversals. Okay? Nothing here. See how fast, if it ain't nothing, it ain't nothing. Now, see, this one is something for maybe next week. You can keep it on your radar because it is, see, testing. But since the beginning of the week is trend trading, it could go further up. And number 2, because the JPY pair is so weak all week, it could be weak next week. Okay, so be very careful when you trade that one. All right, NZD Swiss, look at that. Oh, now see, this is one of those exceptions. Okay, this could pose as an exception because look at how the NZD shot way out of court, way out of proportion. Take a look at this GN. Now you're seeing why this made sense, that this did this, Euro did this, and the AUD NZD. Now you're seeing why I said these are exceptions, because some news came out that pushed this way beyond its boundaries. So that's the reason why they didn't get a chance to do their normal midweek reversal. You get it? You see what I'm saying? Okay. So that was NZD Swiss. This is NZD CAD. And you can see it shot up. You can see NZD JPY shot way up. And look at this from the daily. It even broke through the daily level because of news on it. Okay. News. Okay. And let's go to NZD USD. And you can see the Euro USD and the GBP USD did nothing all week. But the one that did do something was who? The NZD USD, because the NZD pairs came out with news. Okay. All right. There we go. We're almost done. USD Swiss kept drifting. Okay. The USD CAD, like I said, nothing much there. It was stalemate. And USD JPY is to the upside like we saw all week because the JPY was weak. You got it all week. Okay. All right. Let's go to the 30, US 30. Again, you can see it was a nice little smooth drift to trend up. Now, truth be told, if I had to choose between trading systems for the entire week for the indices, which one would I use? Would I use a reversal system or would I use a trend trading system? I'm going to tell you all day long, I would use a trend trading system. It will read the indices far better than people, in my opinion, who are marking up the charts, unless you're an expert like Miss Jenny. And I'm going to give you guys a report on Sunday. They did a bunch of trades in her class in the signals group, and they won 100% of their trades for over 7,000 pips last week. Freaking incredible. So if you're learning from her, then you don't worry about it because you're learning from a genius who's an expert at trading the indices. But if you had to trade by yourself, I would suggest use a trend trading system, okay? You'll come out far better. And what do I think this will do? I think this is consolidating and may push up a little bit higher. I really do on the US 30. All right, let's take a look at that one. All right, that one is way up there. And let's look at the NASDAQ. See, nasty Nas. Okay, nasty Nas. Okay, and here's the gold. Now, gold is interesting because I do see it sitting at a strong support level, which is, look, here's a high. Here's a higher, here's a high. Here's a higher high. Then it went up, pulled back, created a higher high, and went up and created a higher high. So it is climbing slowly, step by step, which is how I see it. I see it as steps. We're like walking upstairs. Here's step number 1. Here's another step. Here's the next step, and here's another step. So whenever they talk about, if you're new and you hear higher lows and higher highs, keep it real simple. Either you're walking upstairs or you're walking downstairs. So when you hear higher lows or lower lows, when you hear the word low, consider I'm walking downstairs, which is taking you lower. So lower lows simply means I'm going downstairs, which means it's trending down. Higher highs, HH, represents you're going upstairs because you're getting higher. Every step you take going upstairs, it takes you higher. You get it? So higher highs, it's like going upstairs. Lower lows is taking you downstairs. Now you got it. Okay? All right. So I do see that this is creating higher highs, or it's going upstairs and it's sitting on a strong support. So I know next week is going to be trend trading, so I would just keep an eye on this one. I would be in a rush to trade a bounce because it could break through or whatever, because the market likes to take people out at the beginning of the week who's looking for reversal trades. That's why you've been losing so much. Okay, so I'm not in a rush to jump into it. See right here? This is what I meant. From the 15-minute, what do you see? This still have room possibly to come down and retest this level for another 37 pips or more before I would even think about looking at it. But again, can it bounce? It could do anything. It can. It could say, hey, I've already had my turn, but you can see that move. See that? But it can come down and retest this level a third time before bouncing up, because typically in the beginning of the week, what happens? It tends to want to stay in its trending pattern. And on this one, currently, this one is kind of sideways, but it's heading down. So I think it could retest this level and then bounce off. But if not, then it goes to the upside. Hey, more power to you. But either way it goes, before the end of the week of next week, if it ain't big news and stuff like that, I would assume that this is going to bounce off of this plate and then possibly go up unless there's some influential news that comes out that prohibits it from doing that move. But I do think it'll bounce right here and come off if not otherwise. Okay. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you very much. Again, leave a comment below saying help so that I can see whether this video is helping people or not. Because if not, I'm going to stop doing it. Okay. But if it was a blessing to you, please let me know. And if you want any of these trading systems, now here's a final thing that comes up all the time. Uncle B, I want to start with one of your trading systems. Here's the top 3 that I would choose for you if you were just starting out. If you know nothing about trading or you're brand new, me personally, I would go with our copycat trader. Okay. What is the copycat? Let me bring this back on screen so you can kind of see. So with the copycat, okay, copycat is where you're just getting copied on all the trades that we're taking, me and my team, so that you're earning, and then you can go back and get any other system you want. And I'll tell you what my number 2 system is. But the first one is I would go with the copycat because guess what? You're not doing anything. You're just sitting back, relax. And I do a demonstration video. So if you go to our website, superezcopycat.com, or you can go to our main website, superezforex.com, and click on the new copycat system, this yellow tab, and it'll take you there. But you'll see how it works. You'll see me take a trade here, and then it just copies onto this account without you having to even be there. So if you work a 9 to 5 or whatever, guess what? I really would suggest, hey, because it takes a while to learn the markets. But in the meantime, you're earning money. And we have all these testimonials, which I'll start doing testimonial videos for you guys. But yeah, people are breaking, doing withdrawals. People are passing prop firm challenges and all that kind of stuff. And they're not even there. We're the ones trading for them. So if this is my main account, this is yours. Every time I take a trade over here, it automatically copies over there. Okay. You don't even have to be there. We could be trading during the London session when you in the bed sleep, and it'll still come to yours, which has happened. Okay. All right. So that's that. That would be number 1. Number 2, I would actually, if I had to choose myself and say, well, that sounds cool, but I still want to trade on my own, then I would automatically go with the Ocean Wave. And each one of these tabs are on our website, superezforex.com. But the Ocean Wave would be my second choice. Okay. And I have a live video right here where you can see me taking about 10 trades or so, and you'll see exactly how they all play out. Okay. You'll see how it works. And it does come with a scanner. Okay. So it does come with a scanner to let you know, so you don't have to sit around watching your charts. So that would be my second choice. And then the third, of course, would be the Simplicity system with the Sexy Analyst. Okay. All right. So you heard enough. You got enough to get you going for next week. Either way it goes, you can be profitable if you choose to. Okay. Don't be stubborn. Have a good one, and I'll see you on Sunday's video.